Hi everybody, I thought I'd do a little video about how cars work in DayZ. If you're new to the game, you're thinking, I want my own wheels to drive around Chernobyl or Livonia. This is kind of how you do it. Now, these are a couple of cars that are runners. And as you can see, you can kind of get a car into a very nice state with matching panels and nice wheels and everything like that. But, you know, even a vehicle like this that is missing a couple of doors and has a rusty boot, as long as it has the basics of, you know, four wheels and then sorry, I've got it all in the back. A battery, a radiator, a spark plug, it's fueled up, and there's water in the radiator. You can then start to drive it. So let's go and have a look at this vehicle up here. So when you're wandering around Chernobyl and Livonia, you'll see lots of different vehicle models in the game, you know, wrecks and actual cars. So as you can see here, we've got two white Adas, and they've improved the wrecks a lot now, so that at first sight often you think, oh right, that's a car that I can do up. But it's not. This is just an inanimate object. And you see, when you run up to it, it doesn't give me a tooltip about Ada, which is what this model's called. But if I go up to this one, you'll see it says Ada, which means this is one that I can interact with, I can fix, and I can get it running. What you're also looking for is that if you see where it says Ada, see it's got that green little circle above the square. That means that this isn't ruined. So it is going to work. If you see it red, it means that it's ruined and it's you're not going to be able to get it working. But as you see, when you're running around the map, you'll find these, but they will always be, unless you're on a modded server, they'll always have bits missing. So if we have a look at this one, we can see it's missing a wheel, it's missing a door, and then if we look at the inventory, we can see that it's got a battery. It's got a radiator, but it doesn't have a spark plug. So we'd have to run around finding those bits. Now, things like doors and bits for cars are often on the wreck. So for example, this wreck here, we could take this door off. And we can come around to here. And now it's got a lovely door. A little bit rusty. You see the real doors there on the floor, but that's how easy it is. Now, other things like car batteries and radiators, a lot of they tend to be found in what we would call industrial areas. But industrial areas can include things like sheds, at the backs of houses, workshops, garages, that sort of thing. Generally not inside houses, you know, inside the actual house or inside offices or things like that. It tends to be the outbuildings where you'll find the spares and things like that. One of the things you'll often do is cannibalize vehicles to get another vehicle running. So you'll find one Ada or whichever vehicle you want to work on that maybe's got, you know, two wheels and a battery. And you got to think, okay, so that one's going to be quite difficult to get working. And then you'll find another one down the road that's maybe got all the wheels but doesn't have the battery. So you can be quite selective in which ones you want to do up to get them working. If you want to know where the cars are, then if you just download the iSurvive map on your phone or go to iSurvive on the web, so it's IZURVIVE, and choose the Chernobyl map for DayZ, you can look at where all the potential car spawn points are there, all the orange ones. And that means that vehicles may be there, so you can run around, go from one to one. You can even, if you go into the loot index, you can then say, actually, I just want to find Adas or Sarkas or Gunters and the particular one you want. Okay, so once you've got all the bits in it, you see this is nice, got lots of bits in. So for example, here we go, let's say I've found this spark plug. What we can then do is we can then, if we go to the top in here, you see where it says engine. I can now transfer on PlayStation we press X, and we hold it on Xbox it would be press A. I can then take that and I can put it in the spark plug slot like there. So we've got all the bits that we need into it. No, sorry, I haven't got the wheel yet, have I? Where did I put the wheel? So here we go. So we found a wheel. Let's take that. Let's take this over here. There we go. We can. There we go. Attach that. Or I could have attached it via, doing it via the inventory. What we need to make sure now is that the vehicle is fueled up and has water in the radiator. So what you need to do is find a jerry can, and again these tend to be dotted in outbuildings or lockups. You get a row of lockups, and then find the nearest petrol station. Again, you can use the i5 map. Just run up to the petrol station, go up to one of the pumps, and you'll get the fill tooltip coming up, and you can fill your jerry can with fuel, and then you just need to fuel it. Now, all the different vehicles have the fuel filler caps in different places. So if this jerry can had fuel in it, which it doesn't, it has water in. If I was looking at that bit there, I would then get the tooltip to fill or refuel, and then I could refuel the car. Now, once you've done that, what you can do is you can go and empty your jerry can. Well, you've got rid of all the fuel sorry into the car. Go and find a river or a water pump and fill the jerry can with water. And then you come to the front of the car and you look for the radiator cap. And what you do, see, because I've got water in my jerry can, it says refill. Now sometimes it can be, right, it's full, so it's not letting me do it anymore. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to find the radiator cap. But if you just slowly move your little dot around, you'll be able to do it. Now remember, if you ever accidentally take the radiator out of your vehicle because you're messing around, say you mean to take the spark plug out because you're securing your vehicle, don't want anyone to drive off with it. If you take the radiator out, it'll automatically be emptied of water. So make sure you fill it up again, because if you drive a vehicle with no water in it, it will overheat and it will destroy the engine. Similarly, if you have a crash, sometimes the radiator will become damaged, it will be emptied of water. If you drive, the red light will come on, your temperature will go up, and then and the vehicle will be destroyed, and you won't be able to fix it by just putting in a new radiator, which is a bit of a pain. Okay, so once you've done that, you're pretty much ready to go. So let me put this can back from where I got it from. Which vehicle did it come out of? This one, I think. There we go. It goes in there. Now, as I'm writing this video, or recording it, this is update 1.09, so that's all you've got to do to get a vehicle running. Make sure it's got a spark plug, radiator, battery, it's got all the 4 tyres, you've added fuel to it, and you've added water to it. All the other stuff, cosmetic stuff, you don't really need to have. Let's take this off. Let's get rid of that. Let's put my nice shiny white door back on. That's better. Now previously, quite a few patches ago, you also had to add oil to the engine, but they've taken that out. But just be aware that if you're watching this video several months or years in the future, they may well add the requirement for oil back in. You'll probably know that if you find on a public server the tins of oil hanging around. They're I think they're normally little blue plastic containers that have like a gallon of oil in, and you used to have to find like 2 or 3 of those to fill up the engine with oil. It was a right pain. Okay, so now what you can do is we can think about getting in. Now with these cars, with the 3-door ones, if you want to get in the back, or someone wants to get in the back, you push this, you push the seat forward like that. That's cool, is it? And then you can get in the back. If you want to get in the front, obviously you want it like that, and we get in, and we can start the car. Now, to know all the controls, if you go into the options, go to controls, and then go to vehicles, this basically tells you everything about how to control the car. The weird thing about, well, not weird, the thing the way the DayZ does it is that you've got a proper gear stick system. With everything, actually you don't have a clutch, so you have to rev up the engine, change the first gear, get up some speed, change the second gear. What you don't want to do is you don't want to be driving any faster than 50 kilometers an hour when you're out on the open road. Trust me. Stay to like the top of second gear, the bottom of third gear, and just poot along at 50 kilometers an hour, because DayZ struggles loading all this amazing amount of data that it has to load into your PlayStation or your Xbox to keep up. And what happens if you start going any faster than that, the game will hitch. You'll start getting stutters, the screen could well freeze, and you'll hit a tree, you'll hit a post, and you'll ruin your car and you'll break it. As soon as you start getting near towns and villages, you want to be knocking it down into first gear, and you literally want to be going at walking pace, no faster than that, because the game really struggles with that. So what we can do now is, let's close the door, and then to fire up you press right trigger. Just make sure she's in neutral. So to go up and down the gears, it's circle and X on PlayStation, B and A on Xbox. So we can knock her into reverse, press the right trigger to accelerate, and then we go backwards. Left trigger is the brake, put it into neutral, put it into first, rev her up, and then you double click on your right stick down, and you double click your top left shoulder button to go into this view here. So this is zoomed in first person mode. You must drive in this mode. If you don't, you'll get even more hitches and glitches and crashes, and it takes so long to put together a vehicle, especially on a public server. You don't want to ruin it just by being a little bit impatient, and the time you'll lose by crashing a car is way more than the time you'll lose just by driving that little bit slower around the map. Now when you get to places like this, by all means go to third person to get through, and then when you're out on the open road, as I say, get her up into second, but stick to maximum of like 50 kilometers an hour. Just remember, when you're going down hills, it's very easy for the cars to really speed up. All of the cars perform okay on proper tarmac roads like this, and the performance drops off considerably when you go off-road, so to the dirt roads and the tracks. And there are actually a few tracks, especially around this area of the map in the west, where the cars won't go up the dirt tracks easily. You need to take a run up and things like that. Now as I'm approaching the big dam here, what I'll be doing is just slowing down, let the game load in. If you kind of get that stuttery feeling where the game starts to feel a bit odd, slow down. So we go down to walking pace here. There we go. I mean, when you go this fast, you can go into third person just so you can have a look round. But get in the discipline of moving, going back to first person, going back to zoomed in. And I'm not saying you won't get any hitches, you won't get any crashes, you won't get any glitches, but you'll get a lot less, and your cars will last a lot longer. So there we go. That's how cars work in DayZ. Hopefully that's useful. If it has been, hit the like button. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.